In the autumn of 2005, Sarah and Emily, who lived in the small town of Willowbrook, decided to have a frightening experience. They entered the town's old and abandoned school building. The old school had been closed due to a fire years ago and had been vacant ever since. The townsfolk considered this place cursed, but Sarah and Emily ventured inside out of curiosity. The walls were peeling and the window panes were shattered. As they proceeded, they began to hear eerie sounds, like the ghosts of the past, whispers of the local youngsters who were said to haunt the place with their stories. Being as quiet as possible, they continued to explore the hallways. Suddenly, something caught Sarah's attention. She noticed that her reflection in an old mirror on the wall was different. She approached slowly and looked at the mirror's surface. The Sarah reflected in the mirror was not herself. Instead, an elderly woman dressed in the same attire as her was standing there, staring at her with deep hatred in her eyes. Sarah was about to turn to Emily and ask what she saw in the mirror when she looked back, and the mirror was empty. The elderly woman had vanished. In fear, Sarah and Emily quickly fled the building. However, after that incident, Sarah's life changed forever. At night, she began to see the elderly woman's hateful gaze in her mind's eye. Those eyes followed her, haunting her. Determined to break the curse, Sarah gathered information from the locals about the curse and eventually learned the story of the elderly woman. She had been accused of tarnishing the town's reputation years ago and had been driven out by the townsfolk. She had died in anger and hatred, and her spirit remained trapped in the mirror. As years passed, Sarah summoned the courage to confront the curse. She met with the spirit of the elderly woman. When the woman's spirit finally accepted her anger, the eyes no longer haunted Sarah. However, she could never be the same person in Willowbrook again. The memory of the hatred behind the eyes would stay with her, and she would always be wary of mirrors. Sarah returned to Willowbrook, but she could never truly be the same person again. The memory of the hatred behind those eyes would stay with her, and she would always be wary of mirrors.